Hey, it's Graphic Policy Television, GPTV, I'm Brett. It's Wednesday, it means comics are hitting shelves all across the world, and it also means it's not just floppies coming out, but trade paperbacks and graphic novels. So, I decided to go and do something a little bit new for this channel and our site. Instead of reviewing graphic novels and trades, which sometimes I just don't get a chance to through written reviews, I thought I might go and do some video reviews. Now, the reason I thought about video reviews is because things like trade paperbacks often have extras that you don't normally see in reviews, and I don't really talk about, as opposed to the story and art and things like that. So I figure it might be a little bit better to actually do some video reviews of some of the graphic novels and trades when it is appropriate. So first up, we got two from DC Comics. Now, I first want to say DC Comics did send this to us, so take that with a little grain of salt. But these are comics that I have read previously and absolutely loved both of them. I think usually you can tell when I dislike something, and it's pretty easy to tell when I'm full of shit. I'm not lying here. These are two solid reads. Now, first up, we've got Justice League Darkseid War Part 2. This is Volume 8 of the Justice League trade paperback. Written by Geoff Johns. It's got art by Jason Fabok and Francis Manapul. It's the conclusion of the DC event of that time and kind of the year, Darkseid War, Darkseid, however you want to pronounce it. Basically, the story was, how do we go with this? We wound up finding out that Darkseid has a nemesis in this character named Mobius. There was another character named Grail who winds up being the daughter of Darkseid, and then winds up murdering Darkseid, and all these superheroes get godlike powers. And the Batman's on the Mobius chair, for example. Superman's like supercharged. Flash winds up getting merged with the Angel of Death. All kinds of craziness happens, and this wraps up the story. It includes issues 45 to 50 and the Justice League Darkseid War special. What's interesting is that there's still 2 more issues in the series to go, so I don't know what DC is planning as far as that. But, it might have been a little bit smarter to just include all that here and kind of one extra size. But it's for $16.99, and you're getting like 7 issues for $16.99, which isn't bad. At that point, I think they were maybe going for $3 or $4. So even at $3 for 7 issues, it's $21, and you're saving $5 when it comes to that. As far as extras, there's not a lot when it comes to this trade. It's pretty bare bones. You get the covers, and that's about it. And that's kind of what I was expecting in something like this. They tend to not do a whole lot of extras. Maybe there's some like sketches or stuff like that, but you just get some variant covers in the back. As far as the story is actually really cool. It really does feel like this big, giant, epic battle between Justice League, the Injustice League, who has to team up to take on Grail. There's all kinds of twists and turns with it. I don't want to ruin some stuff. But the one thing that really stands out when I looked over it for a second time is the final pages. The big thing that was really stuck out to me was the ending of this series, and that it really set the stage for Rebirth and what was to come. This was the comic that had the revelation that there wasn't one, but actually 3 Jokers, potentially. We also get the revelation that Wonder Woman has a half-brother. All that's here. It's really, really interesting. We get Lex Luthor kind of taking his role as Superman. We got Jessica Cruz taking her role as the newest Green Lantern. All kinds of craziness. It really, really is just a big drag-out, throw-out battle to the end, and there's tons left in the open that hopefully things will be picked up in Rebirth at some point down the road. The big thing that really stands out to me, though, is those final pages. Now, I don't want to particularly show them off, but it has to do with Owlman and Metron and the Mobius chair and some time on the moon. The things that occur when it comes to that really, really connects with Rebirth, and I think in a way that not too many people have been exploring or talking about. But for what happens there, go and read DC Universe Rebirth, which is on like the 6th printing at this point, if you haven't read it already. Those things tie together in a really impressive way, and I think shows how well thought out the big giant picture story that DC's putting together currently. So this is out $16.99. Solid read if you haven't read it so far. Now, you probably should go back and get Part 1 of this big giant event if you haven't read it so far. Jumping in at part 2, you know, probably isn't good. The big thing with for readers, there isn't much extra in here, so you know, if you already have the single issues, you're probably not going to need the trade. And for those who are hoping for tons of extra stuff, there's not really much in there other than some variant covers. Now, the one I'm going to tell you to go out and get no matter what is this book, The Legend of Wonder Woman. It's by such talented folks. Renae is writer and artist, and then artist Ray Dillon helped her as well. The series is gorgeous. It's a retelling of Wonder Woman, her origins, obviously Volume 1 with Origins. It's really kind of a different look at her, taking her through her formative years as she grew up. She grew up on Themyscira until she actually entered the world of man, and how she kind of explores all this. The story is fantastic. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. It's one of my favorite Wonder Woman stories of the year. I mean, there was another one that came out that was a graphic novel about Wonder Woman. Out of the two, this is the one I'm going to pick, absolutely. I mean, this blew me away in ways I can't even describe. If I have to go on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the best, this is absolutely a 10. Hands down, I'm not even going to hesitate on that. The art is gorgeous. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. And the other is it's not quite an all ages tale, but it's definitely one you can go and give to like teens or young teens. There's not much issues with there. I'm not going to go and give it to like a really young kid, but if you've got preteen or a teenager that wants to get into Wonder Woman, this would be a great thing to do. It's really empowering. It's fantastic. I think it really sets out Wonder Woman in ways that we haven't really explored before, at least I haven't seen. And it does it with an art style that is gorgeous. The best way is to describe it. Like, it's just awesome. The package, it's a hardcover with this art adorning it. Give you the idea of that. As far as extras, there's not really much at all. There's a little bit as far as some notes for the acts, but we're talking like 3 pages of that. To give you an idea of how much, you've got that. And then you've got some cool cover sketches there. Of course, there's covers to the single issues that are in there. I mean, this is a series that went from digital to single issues to this gorgeous collection. It's absolutely beautiful. Even with the price of $29.99, I'm recommending it. I think it's one that is a graphic novel that I would want on my shelf and part of my collection. It's just that solid. It's one that I'm, of course, going to loan out to friends so they can check it out because I think it's that good. When the Wonder Woman series or movie comes out, this would be the graphic novel, I think, to hand to folks who might be interested in checking out a comic about the character. It's just fantastic. Beautiful art, beautiful writing, really entertaining. One of my favorite, I guess we can call it miniseries of the year. I guess it's a maxi series, really. And the demand and the love of it was so high that they're giving us a volume 2 at some point. So we've got more to look forward to, and believe me, I can't wait for that. So overall, we got 2 solid choices from DC. Of course, we've got Justice League, Darkseid War Part 2, and The Legend of Wonder Woman, the Volume 1 collection. DC Comics did hook us up with both of them, so keep that in mind. But yeah, there's links underneath this video for both of them. It is going to be affiliate links, so there is going to be a slight coming back to the site. But by purchasing through that, you do help support our site. We're going to hopefully give a couple options so you can go decide what you want to do and go from there. But as always, thank you for watching. Much appreciated. Now, if you're watching this, that probably means you're into comic books, so you go and check us out at graphicpolicy.com. Of course, we've got comic news, reviews, interviews every single day, 24 hours, every hour. There's something new going on, so go check us out. Much appreciated. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. Until next time, thanks for watching. Keep on reading and keep it geeky.